friends, good morning to everybody. First of all, I congratulate you for having successfully completed your SSL examination and selected a very good college. Very good college in PUC is one of the best college in Goka. So you have joined this KLE family. Make sure that these 2 years will bring you a fruitful result. These 2 years are very important years for you, which will make a career. Entire career depends upon PUC second year result. Therefore, make it sure that you attend all the classes regularly without fail. Attend all the classes, attend all the lectures, and try to understand. If you have got any difficulty, you don't hesitate to meet the concerned lecturers, concerned teachers, and get your problem solved. If you keep your problems yourself, at the end of the year there will be a bundle of problems which cannot be answered in the examination. Therefore, feel free to meet every professor, every lecturer, every teacher in the college and keep good contact with them and try to earn more knowledge in this college. Not only knowledge, discipline as well. One of the most important aspect, discipline. If you are not disciplined, whatever you have learned is waste. Therefore, behave properly in the college. Give full attention to all the classes in the college and make your PUC second year quite successful. Thank you. With these words, let us start today with chemistry, bridge course in chemistry. That what you have studied earlier in chemistry and what you are going to study in PUC first and second year in chemistry. So let us think briefly what is about chemistry, what all you are going to learn in PUC first and second year. So before we commence with the classes, let me introduce myself. I am Mr. G.M. Amdani G.M. I was principal of the JSS College for 18 years, and in 2008 we started a PUC course here in the Goka, and since then I was working as a principal, and up to 2012 I was the principal of the college. Now I am working as an administrator of the college. I will be teaching you organic chemistry. The chemistry has got different branches. So let us see what are the different branches and who all are teaching you the different branches. So myself, I will be dealing with the organic chemistry, part of the organic chemistry. And part of the organic chemistry is will be conducted by Ms. Kulkarni, Preeti Kulkarni. And then another lady who is the head of the chemistry department, Desai Madam. She will be teaching you about the inorganic chemistry and physical chemistry as well. And one more teacher is there, Mr. Terkar, and he will be teaching you inorganic. So we four are trying to make you best in chemistry. So let us start with the chemistry. Well, in SSLC and previous years, you have studied science, where you have covered part chemistry, part physics, part biology. In PUC second year and first and second year, you will be studying in detail chemistry, complete chemistry classes will be there, and physics class will be there, and biology. 3 different branches will be there separately. So make it sure that you will be not, science is, you are not learning the science as a whole, you are learning chemistry separately, physics separately, and biology separately. Of course, methods should be there. So PCME and languages are there for the PUC first and second year. Now regarding the chemistry, friends, what is chemistry? To brief about chemistry, you know in nature, Jagat Nodar, you are getting different matters. ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಪದಾರ್ಥಗಳು ಸಿಗ್ತವೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಪದಾರ್ಥಗಳು ಒಂದೇ ಇರ್ತವೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಆಕಾರ, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬಣ್ಣ, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಲರು, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಹಿಂಗಾಗ್ತೈತಿ? What is this one? So this produced a curiosity among the scientists. And what is chemistry is here? Chemistry analyzes the various substances available in nature and tries to know what is the composition. Composition ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತೈತಿ? Composition ಅಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಭಾಗಗಳು ಯಾವುವು, ಯಾತಿನೂ ಆಡಲ್ಪಟ್ಟೆ, ಅವರ ಸೂತ್ರ ಯಾವುದು, what is their structure, what are their properties. You are coming across in the nature different substances, different matters. You find across the sand, you come across the salt, you come across the sugar, you come across the mud. So many things are there. Everything is not same. They have got their own properties, own uses, own colors. Why this difference is there? When all these things are available in nature, why this difference? Sugar you can eat very well. You cannot eat mud. You cannot eat sand. Sand is used for something else. Mud is used for something else. Why this difference is there? So to know this difference, some scientists started to analyze, to know what they are, what they are made up of. And this is chemistry. Chemistry learns what are the composition, yatin ಮಾಡಲ್ಪಟ್ಟವ ವಸ್ತು yatin ಮಾಡಲ್ಪಟ್ಟವು ಮತ್ತು ರಚನೆ, what is their structure, what are their uses, what are their properties. So that is how the chemistry started. Therefore the chemistry, it is a branch of science. It studies about the different matters available in nature regarding their composition, structure and properties, and also about the changes that take place in composition, energy content during the various reactions. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಆ ವಸ್ತುಗಳ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗ್ತವೆ? ವಾಟ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ದೇ ಮೇಕ್? Say for example, you take the carbon. If you heat it, it produces flame. It produces energy. What happens? Why? Why exactly the energy is liberated? Why exactly it burns? After burning, what it forms? So these are there to know. Therefore, this is regarding the chemistry. Chemistry are not these things. I repeat once again, chemistry is a branch of science. It studies about the different matters, different substances, different matters available in nature regarding composition. ಭಾಗಗಳು ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತವೆ, ಎತ್ತರ ಮಾಡಲ್ಪಟ್ಟಿರೋ composition, structure, ಅದರ ರಚನೆ ಏನಿದೆ, properties, ಅವುಗಳ ಗುಣಧರ್ಮ ಏನು, and also about the changes that take place in composition, energy content during the various reactions. So know this is regarding the chemistry. Chemistry studies all these things. Okay? And the chemistry is divided mainly into two branches. Chemistry is divided mainly into how many branches? Two branches. What are they? One is pure chemistry, second one is the applied chemistry. What is pure chemistry? What is applied chemistry? Pure chemistry, to know little more about the matters. What exactly? Little more about the matters. So that is called as the pure chemistry, and this pure chemistry is divided into three branches: organic, inorganic, and physical. These are the three main branches of chemistry. Let us see what is this organic, inorganic, and physical. What is organic chemistry? Organic chemistry, it is the study of carbon and its compounds. Carbon is capable of reacting with many elements like hydrogen, like sulfur, like oxygen, like nitrogen, etc. It has got wonderful property that will come later. So this organic chemistry is the study of carbon compounds made up of carbon and hydrogen. ಸಂಯುಕ್ತಗಳು ಎತ್ತರದ್ದು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಸಂಯುಕ್ತಗಳನ್ನು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಇದು, and their derivatives ಅದನ್ನ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ. ಇನ್ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಏನು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ? ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಉಳ್ಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆ. Inorganic chemistry, apart from carbon, except carbon, all other elements known in nature is studied by inorganic. Only the carbon compounds studied separately. Why this carbon compounds studied separately will come to later. The reason will come. We should know what is the reason. Why only the carbon compounds are separated? So let us see after that. Now the inorganic chemistry, it is the study of all other elements present in nature and their compounds. It is called as inorganic except those of carbon. Physical chemistry, see in the chemistry, when the compound is reacting with anything else, it has to react in a certain proportion. Certain rules it has to follow. So the physical chemistry studies about the rules of the reaction, etc. So that is regarding the physical chemistry. Physical chemistry studies only the laws and rules. About the inorganic chemistry or physical chemistry, inorganic chemistry, etc. So this is concerned with the rules and regulations of the reactions. Whereas this one is study of carbon, compounds, carbon, hydrogen. This one, study of all other elements except the carbon. So that is regarding the branches, organic, inorganic, physical. Okay? Is further classified into two types. Organic chemistry is further classified into two types. One is applied chemistry, and the one is analytical chemistry. Pure chemistry and applied chemistry. So pure chemistry consists of organic, inorganic, physical. Applied chemistry, it deals what it knows. Applied chemistry studies about the techniques to know what is the compound, what are the elements present there, whether the compound is containing carbon or not, whether the compound is containing hydrogen or not, halogens or Cl, Br or not, what all elements it is containing. So that is regarding the applied chemistry. So applied chemistry deals how the knowledge of chemistry can be used for the benefit of the human beings. So that is regarding the applied chemistry. Applied chemistry is further classified into three types. One is analytical chemistry, biochemistry, and environmental chemistry. These are the three branches. Not only three branches, these three branches you are studying in PUC first and second year. There are many branches. Let us not bother about all those branches. Otherwise it goes on complicated. It becomes very complicated. So let us study only these of the applied chemistry. Applied chemistry, only three branches you are studying: analytical chemistry, biochemistry, and environmental chemistry. What is analytical chemistry? Analytical. ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಣೆ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ರಾಸಾಯನಿಕ ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಣೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? What the matter is containing, what are the different parts present in the compound, what is the percentage of the compound, what are the percentage of elements. Say the compound contains some elements. Compound is made up of elements. So to know what are the different elements present in the compound, this analytical chemistry deals with it. So analytical chemistry deals with to know the composition and to know the nature of the elements present there. So this analytical chemistry is further classified into two divisions. One is qualitative chemistry or qualitative analysis. Analysis means Vishleshani. Analysis meaning Vishleshani. And quantitative analysis. What do you mean by qualitative analysis? Quality, you have to find out what quality elements are there. Qualitative analysis is to know different elements present in a compound. So this you are going to study in the classroom about the detection of the elements, different elements present in the compound. You have to find out the different elements present in the compound. And that is called as qualitative analysis. The quality of the compound you have to find out. Quantitative analysis. After finding out what are the elements present in the compound, you have to find out in what proportion these elements are present in the compound. Say for example, an organic compound contains carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine, etc. Suppose. First you will find out what are the elements present in the organic compound. Now after finding out, you have found out that the compound is containing carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine, etc. Maybe there or not. So after knowing what are the elements present there, you have to find out at what proportion, at what percentage at what percentage the carbon is present, at what percent the hydrogen is present. So that is called as estimation. Estimation of elements. So the quantitative analysis is the estimation of the elements. You have to find out what percent, say carbon may present 50%. You don't know, you have to find out. So there are methods of finding out. So that is called as quantitative analysis. You will be studying in PUC first year. Quantitative analysis you are studying in PUC first year. So remember, quantitative analysis to find out the composition and also the percentage composition. Percentage composition of the compound you have to find out. Follow? Clear? Are you following? If you are not following, you please contact me on phone and I will explain you. Okay? So, percentage of elements you have to find out. Then, what is the percent of hydrogen? It may be 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 or 20, whatever it is. You have to find out what percentage of hydrogen is present in the compound. And what percentage of oxygen is there. So, this finding out the percentage composition of the elements present in the compound is called as quantitative analysis. Therefore, in the applied chemistry, in the analytic chemistry, analytic chemistry is one of the branch. In the analytic chemistry, you are finding out the quality of the elements present in the compound, which is called as quality analysis. The compound, say the compound is containing, you don't know what the compound is containing, you have to find out them. It must contain a carbon, because organic compounds always containing carbon. Carbon must be there. Along with carbon, water elements, it may be containing hydrogen, it may contain nitrogen. So there are procedures to know what are the elements present in the organic compound. Organic compound ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಕಂಡು ಹಿಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ರೀತಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಆ ರೀತಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನು PUC ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಥಿಯರಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಕಲಿತಾರೆ. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ದಿ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್. ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್, what proportion, composition, what percentage, what is it is called estimation. Percentage composition to find out, that is called as quantitative analysis. That we will be also studying in theory and also in practicals. You are carrying out the titration. There is a practical called as titration, by which you are studying what quantity is present in the compound. So you must remember there is a quantitative analysis and quantitative. That is regarding the analytical chemistry. Any problem? Very simple. Analysis. ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಣೆ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಇದು. ಎರಡು ನಮಗೆ ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾವುದು ಅಥವಾ ಏನು ನೇಚರ್ ಏನೈತಿ, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ, ಯಾವ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಇರಪ್ಪ, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಜೋಡಿ ಏನಿರಪ್ಪ ಅದನ್ನು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್. ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್. ಇವೆರಡಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡಿ ಅನಾಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅನಾಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ PUC ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇಯರ್ ನೀವು ಕರಿತೀರಿ. ಎಂತ ಅಂತ ಬಯೋಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ. ಬಯೋಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ? What is the meaning of bio? Bio means, biology, ಪ್ರಾಣಿಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ. Bio. Chemistry is chemistry, science ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ. ಇದು ಏನು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತೆ ಅಂದರೆ, there are certain compounds which are directly connected with the individual, human beings, animals, plants. Such compounds which are in use for a human being and plants, animals. So such compounds are studied under biochemistry. For example, sugar. You make use of every day in your life. So this compound is useful to the man. Proteins, it is useful to the man. It is required for the growth. So such compounds which are directly connected with the human analysis, human chemistry. So these compounds, what happens when you eat it? What are the reactions that are undergoing? What happens? What is the ultimate answer for that? What is it? ನೀವು ಶಕ್ತಿ ಬೇಕಾತಂದ್ರೆ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ತಿಂತೀರಿ, ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ನಾಗ ಆಟ ಆಡೋಕೆ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಹೊಡಿತೀರಿ, ಒಂದು 100 ಮೀಟರ್ಸ್ ರನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೀವು ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರಪ್ಪ? ಆ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಒಂದು ಶಕ್ತಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಬಂತಪ್ಪ? ಅದನ್ನು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಇದೆ. Understand? So this biochemistry is concerned with the chemicals which are directly connected with the human beings or animals or plants. Plant ಒಳಗೆ ಹೆಂಗಪ್ಪ? ಯೂರಿಯಾ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ. ಯೂರಿಯಾ ಹಾಕಲಿಲ್ಲ ಗೊಬ್ಬರ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕೋದಿಲ್ಲ. So all these compounds are connected with the biochemistry. So in the biochemistry, you will be studying about the compounds, how they are used in the body, what all reactions taking place in the body. Those reactions which are taking place in the body are called as biochemical reactions. The reactions which are taking place in the body, they are called as biochemical reactions. So they are concerned with biochemistry. You are studying the biochemistry in PUC second year. You are studying carbohydrates. In biochemistry, you are studying carbohydrates. You are studying proteins. You are studying enzymes. You know enzymes? Enzymes are the biocatalyst. They help in the reaction. ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸಕ್ಕರೆ, ಶುಗರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇಂಟು ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್. ಲ್ಯಾಬೊರೇಟರಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಶುಗರ್ನ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು ಗೊತ್ತೈತೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ? ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಶುಗರ್ ಕೂಡ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ HCl ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಸಿಡ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಬಾಯ್ಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಆ ಶುಗರ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಫ್ರಕ್ಟೋಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್. ಈ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ? ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಐಸೋಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್. ಈಗ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಶುಗರ್ ಇಸ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಬೈ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್. In the body, human body, this sugar is also converted into glucose. ಲ್ಯಾಬೊರೇಟರಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಪ್ಪ? HCl ಹಾಕಿ ಕಳ ಕುದಿಸ್ತದೆ, ಅವಾಗ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ ಶುಗರ್ ನೀವು ತಿಂತಾರೆ, ತಿಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಷ್ಟಿಗೆ ಕುಡಿತೀರಿ? ಇಲ್ಲ. ಕಾಸ್ತಾರೆ ಮೈನ? ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಕೈತಿ, ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಆಕೈತಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ಆಕೈತಿ? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಕೆಟಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಎನ್ಸೈಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಈ ಎನ್ಸೈಮ್ಗಳಿಂದ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಇವುಗಳ ಎನ್ಸೈಮ್ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಈ ಎನ್ಸೈಮ್ಗಳ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಶುಗರ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ ತಮ್ಮವ್ರೆ. ಆ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸು ಬ್ಲಡ್ನಾಗ ಸೇರ್ತೈತಿ, ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಆಗೈತಿ, ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಕೂಡ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಕೂಡ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ವಾಟರ್. ಇವು ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಆರಾಮ್ಸೆ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತಾವೆ. ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ತಿಂದ್ರಿ 15-20 ಮಿನಿಟ್ನಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಲಿಬರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ತಿಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ? ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಲಿಬರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಆದರೆ ಹೊರಗೆ ಲ್ಯಾಬೊರೇಟರಿ ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಭಾಳ ಟೈಮ್ ತೊಗೊತೈತಿ, ಭಾಳ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಬೇಕು. ಹೌದಾ? ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಬೇಕು. ಏನು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ ಆಗಲಿ. HCl ಹಾಕಬೇಕು, ಕಳ ಕುದಿಸ್ಬೇಕು, ಅಂದಾಗ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಐತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗೋಲ್ಲ, ಈಸಿಲಿ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಸೊ ಯಾಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಾವ? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಡಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ. ಆ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಎನ್ಸೈಮ್ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ನು PU ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಕಲಿತಾರೆ. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಕತ್ತಾನ, ಗತಿ ಹೇಳಕತ್ತಾನ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ತಿಳಿತಾರೆ? ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿ biochemistry. Biochemistry ಏನು ಕೊಡ್ತಲ್ಲ, these are the chemicals which are directly involved in the life process. What are the different reactions taking place? What are the different substances? So all these will make you the biochemistry. Is that clear? Now, environmental chemistry. Environment. ನಾವು ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲ ವಾತಾವರಣ. ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲ ವಾತಾವರಣ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಕೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Yes, there is chemical reactions are taking place. ಏರ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಬಯೋಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ, ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅವು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ, ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗೋದು ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಏರ್, ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಏರ್, ನೀವು ಹಳ್ಳಿ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅತಿ ಶುದ್ಧ ಏರ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಬಾಂಬೆದಾಗ ಹೋಗ್ರಿ, ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಹೊಲಸು ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಯಾಕೆ? ಅದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಇಂಪ್ಯೂರಿಟೀಸ್ ಮುಡಿತಾವೆ. ಇಂಪ್ಯೂರಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ಸ್. ಯಾವ ಇಂಪ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಕುಡಿತಾವೆ? ಅದು ಶುದ್ಧೀಕರಣ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಇವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕಲಿಯುವಂಥದ್ದು ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್. ಎನ್ವೈರನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ. In the nature, in the atmosphere, different compounds are present. To what extent they are present? What happens if they are present? It becomes harmful. Body harmful, man becomes unconscious when you take very impure air. So these chemicals are present in the atmosphere, also in water, also in soil. So environmental chemistry studies about the chemicals and their reaction taking place in the nature, in the atmosphere, in the water, in soil. So these interactions of the compounds which are taking place in the atmosphere, in the water, in the soil is concerned with the environmental chemistry. Environmental means Vatavarananta chemicals. So these you are studying. You are studying this environmental chemistry in PUC first year. Air, atmosphere, water, how it is polluted, why it is polluted, what type of water is suitable for drinking, etc. etc. Soil. There are different types of soils. So what? See, why this difference will be there? Because of the some chemical present in the soil. Some soils are very rich. You can grow anything there. Some soils are very, very poor. You can't grow anything there. Why? So that is due to the chemicals present in the soil. So all these concerned with the environmental chemistry. Environmental chemistry studies about the atmosphere, about water, about soil, environmental chemistry. Okay? So that is regarding the environmental chemistry. So that's how under the organic chemistry in PUC first and second year you are studying pure chemistry in which you are studying organic, inorganic and physical. And then you are studying applied chemistry where you are studying analytic chemistry, biochemistry and environmental chemistry. All these are included in the PUC first year. So there is a separate course for the chemistry, not like that of SLC. In SLC you have studied very few compounds, very few knowledge is there. So here you are getting the full knowledge about all these things in PUC first and second year. And listen carefully. Let us see something about the organic chemistry. In organic chemistry, Kannada ಏನಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಪ್ಪ ನಿಮಗಿದು? ಜೀವ ರಸಾಯನಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ. ಸಾವಯವ ರಸಾಯನಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಅಥವಾ ಸಾವಯವ. Or in English it is called as organic chemistry. Organ meaning ಅವಯವಗಳು. ಅವಯವಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಸಾವಯವ ರಸಾಯನಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಅಂತ. ಸಾವಯವ ರಸಾಯನಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಅದನ್ನ ಮೊದಲು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ? ವಾಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ದಿ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ? You know, you probably have studied in SSLC that organic compounds are formed only in the living organisms. Only in the living organisms like man or plants. Plants or matra are chemicals tayaragtava. For example, you know urea. Urea andre ellaru gottide. Kannada urea anta English urea anta. Do you know what is the formula of urea? Urea is having the formula NH2 CO NH2. ಯೂರಿಯಾ ಸಿಗತ್ತಪ್ಪ, ಯೂರಿನ್ ಮೂತ್ರ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. ಆ ಮೂತ್ರ ಯಾರು ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳು ವಿಸರ್ಜನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನ ಆದಂಥ ಯೂರಿಯಾ. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ಶುಗರ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗ್ತದಪ್ಪ? ಟ್ಯಾಟಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಶುಗರ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ಯಾಟಾಗಿ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ. ಶುಗರ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನ ಆಗ್ತದೆ? ಏನು ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಶುಗರ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್. Sugar cane is a plant, sugar cane plant. There, the sugar is obtained, from which different compounds are obtained. So, these compounds, similarly, formic acid, for example, very important. Formic acid, formic amla compound ಹೆಸರಿರ್ತದೆ. ಇದರ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ HCO. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ನೋಡೋದು ಫಾರ್ಮಿಕಸ್ ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೈತಿ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಕಸ್ ರೆಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಟ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ಕಟ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ರೆಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಟ್ ಕಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆರಾಮಾಗೈತೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಉಳಿತೀವಿ ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ರೆಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಟ್ while it is biting it will inject this particular compound. So that is how the name formic acid is prepared in the ants. So such compounds were prepared in the living systems, and therefore such compounds are called as organic chemistry because they are prepared in the living organisms. And there was an idea that these compounds cannot be prepared in the laboratory. Afterwards, urea was prepared in laboratory. Do you know by whom it was prepared? By Wohler. He prepared this. He was heating the inorganic compound NH4CnO. He was heating this and it is converted to NH2CONH2. So that is how for the first time the organic compound was prepared in the laboratory. Therefore, the old method of defining the organic chemistry is no use. It failed, and thereby many chemists prepared organic compounds in the laboratory. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಮೊದಲು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಹೆಸರು ಬಂದಿದ್ದ ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಅವು ಆ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಗಳು ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ತಯಾರಾಗ್ತವ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆರಿಜಿನ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ ಅವಯವದಿಂದ ಜೀವ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಅವಯವದಿಂದ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದಂಥ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಅದು ಆ ನಂತರ ಕಾಲಾನಂತರ ಈ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಗಳ ಲ್ಯಾಬೊರೇಟರಿಗಳು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಂತ ಆದ್ರೆ ಹೆಸರು ಏನು ಉಳಿತು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಉಳಿತು then what is this organic chemistry? Organic chemistry is the study of carbon compounds. Study of carbon compounds. ನೀವು ಅನಿಸ್ಬೋದು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ಗಳು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಐತಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಯಾಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅನಿಸ್ಬೋದು ಏನು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕೂಡಿಸ್ಬೋದಾಗೈತೆ ಅಲ್ಲ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ so far known in the nature is more than many times more than the compounds obtained from remaining elements of the periodic table. You know what are the remaining, how many elements are there? 104 or more than that are there. So all these together, when the compounds are prepared, those number of compounds prepared from all these compounds except carbon is definitely much less than the compound formed from carbon only. So carbon forms the compound more than 10 lakhs, whereas the compound formed by the remaining elements just about 50 to 60,000, not more than that. So think, what is the great number of carbon compounds? More than 10 lakhs. Therefore, this family was separated under the class called as organic chemistry. It is cannot be mixed with the inorganic chemistry because inorganic chemistry deals with very few compounds, whereas organic chemistry deals with more than 10 lakhs compounds. Therefore, the branch was separated and named as organic chemistry. Is that clear? Organic chemistry is very vast, very vast, very vast. Numbers are too many, and therefore there was a separate branch created which is called as organic chemistry. Now let us know something more about the organic chemistry. So, organic chemistry studies about compounds of carbon. The simple compounds formed by carbon are made up of carbon and hydrogen. Carbon and hydrogen react to give you the compounds what are called as hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons. Say for example, carbon reacts with two hydrogen. Do you know what it forms? One carbon reacts with four hydrogen atoms. That means it will give you CH4. CH4. This is called as hydrocarbon. Why it is called as hydrocarbon? Because it contains hydrogen and carbon. Therefore, they are called as hydrocarbons. Now, carbon has got a wonderful capacity of formation of covalent bonds. Carbon has got two important properties. Because of these two important properties, the number of carbon compounds is more than 10 lakhs. Why the carbon will give you more number of compounds? Because of two reasons. How many reasons? Two reasons. ಎರಡು ಕಾರಣದಿಂದ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ಗಳು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ. ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಉತ್ಪತ್ತಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎರಡು ಕಾರಣ. ಒಂದೇನಪ್ಪ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Carbon has got a wonderful property that carbon has got tetravalency. Carbon has got tetravalency. It has got combining capacity 4. 4 combining capacity. Tetra means 4. That is, carbon is capable of reacting with. Do you know how many hydrogen atoms here? Look here. How many hydrogen atoms here? 4 carbon. How these 4 carbons are, how the 4 hydrogen atoms are bonded to the carbon, do we know? Because of the covalent bond. Carbon has got 4 valency. You know how the valency, covalent bonds is formed. How the covalent bond is formed. Have you studied in the SSLC? Yes, you have studied by sharing of electrons. By sharing of electrons. You learn this formation of bonds in inorganic chemistry. Desa madam will teach more about this bond formation. Desa madam, you know, she is teaching physical and inorganic. You will be knowing more about this formation of bonds. I briefly tell here how the bonds are formed. The bonds are formed, covalent bonds are formed, and formed by sharing. Share sharing the electrons. Carbon has got 4 electrons in the outermost orbit. Carbon electron set the purtati 6 electrons of electron hang to the purtati. So this is the carbon nucleus. ಇದು ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತಲು ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಪ್ಪ? K shell ಅಂತಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು K shell ಅಂತಾರಲ್ಲ. What is the capacity of K shell? Do we know? 2 electrons. 2 electrons are moving around this nucleus. Totally how many electrons are there in carbon? 6 electrons. Now where are the other 4 electrons? Other 4 electrons, ಇನ್ನು 4 electrons ಅದರ ಹೊರಬದಿ ಶೆಲ್ ನಾಗ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಶೆಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತೈತೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ? L. ಹೌದಾ ನೋಡಿದ? Yes, it is called L shell. Very good. So how many electrons are there? 4 electrons are there. What is the capacity of this shell? 4 electrons in the outermost orbit. What is the capacity of outermost orbit? 8. So it attains stability when it attains all 8 electrons. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಆರ್ಬಿಟ್ ನೊಳಗೆ 8 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಅದಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಸ್ಥಿರ ಆಗ್ತೈತೆ. ಇದು ಅಸ್ಥಿರ. ಅಥವಾ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟಿವ್. ಯಾಕೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟಿವ್? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಎಂಟ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ. It tries to attain octet configuration. Octet ಅಂದ್ರೆ 8. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಔಟರ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ 8 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಆಗಾಗ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ ಹೇಳಿ ನೋಡಿ ಈಗ. This will react. That means carbon is reactive. Why is reactive? It is unstable. Why it is unstable? Because carbon has got in the outermost orbit only 4 electrons. When it gets 8 electrons, it becomes stable. ಸ್ಥಿರ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಅಸ್ಥಿರ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಮೋರ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೈತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ 4 hydrogen atoms. Hydrogen atom ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೈತೆ ಇದು ನೋಡಿ. Hydrogen atom has nucleus. How many electrons are there? 1 electron. So this carbon will share 4 electrons with 4 hydrogen atoms. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು 4 ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಕೂಡ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಹ್ಯಾಂಗೆ ಆಗ್ತೈತೆ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಇದು 4 ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಕೂಡ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇದು ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಕೂಡ್ತೈತೆ. ಇದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಇದು ಈಗ ಮುಂದೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ಚಂದ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ಚಂದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಅದರಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಸುತ್ತ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಇದೊಂದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಉಂಟು, ಇದೊಂದು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ 2 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನು, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ 3 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನು, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ 4 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನು. ಇದೇನು ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ 1 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನು, ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ 1 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನು, ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ 1 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನು, ಈ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ 1 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್. ಟೋಟಲ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಅದು ಈಗ 8 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಂತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ had got 4 electrons. It is reacted with hydrogen, 1 electron here, 1 electron here, 1 electron here, 1 electron here. This is electron of hydrogen. This is electron of carbon. So totally around the carbon how many electrons are there? 4 electrons, 8 electrons. Or you can write it this way. Can we write it? Understand? C electron of carbon, electron of hydrogen. Electron of carbon, electron of hydrogen, hydrogen here. Electron of carbon, electron of hydrogen, hydrogen here. Electron of carbon, electron of hydrogen, hydrogen here. So it has reacted with 4 hydrogens taking 1 electron each. Therefore, this carbon forms a bond. ಬಂಧನ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಹೆಸರು ಬಂಧನ ಆಕತಿ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ನೋಡಿ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಬಾಂಡ್ನಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಪಾ? 1 ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ದು 1 ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ 1 ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ 1 ಕಾರ್ಬನ್. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ 4 ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಬಾಂಡ್ ತಯಾರದು. That means carbon has got tetrachloroethane C and forms a compound called as hydrocarbon. Tell me what are the hydrocarbons? Hydrocarbons are the compounds formed by reacting with hydrogen atoms. Therefore, these are called as hydrocarbons. So, what are hydrocarbons? These are the compound formed by the interaction between carbon and hydrogen. They are called as hydrocarbons. Similarly, carbon it has got the capacity Another important property of this one is catenation. Now study this catenation. Do you know what is catenation? Catenation is a property of an element by means of which it can go on connecting with its own element. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಬಾಂಡ್ ತಯಾರಾಕೊಂತ ಹೋಗುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ. ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಐತಲ್ಲ, ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಗಾಟ್ ದಿ ಕೇಟನೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ. ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ವಿತ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ 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 ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹಾಕೋತ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. So this property is called as catenation. So catenation is a property of an element which can, by means of which it will form a bond with its own element. Carbon is forming a bond with carbon only. So this is called as catenation. Or it may form also the bond with other atoms like hydrogen, like oxygen, etc. So this is called as catenation. Catenation is a property of an element forming a bond with its own element. That's called as catenation. Catenation is another important property of the carbon by means of which it will give you many carbon atoms joined together. Look here. When the carbon atoms are joining, it may form a straight chain or a branched chain or a ring. For example, let us take a compound containing 6 carbon. How these 6 carbon atoms can connect to one another? These 6 carbon atoms can be connected to one another to form a straight ಸೀದಾ ಚೈನು. ಯಾವುದೂ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ 1 2 3 4 5 6 ಹಿಂಗೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಚೈನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಅಥವಾ ಹಿಂಗೂ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಅವು 6 ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಹಿಂಗೂ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಿಂಗೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಆರ್ ಯು ಫೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಔಟ್ ದ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್? 1 2 3 4 5 1 carbon. This carbon is present in the second carbon. Here 1 2 3 4 5. This carbon is present in the third carbon. So the arrangement ರಚನೆ ಬದಲಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಚೈನು, ಇದು ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಚೈನು. ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಹಿಂಗೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹಿಂಗೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಹಿಂಗೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೋಡಿ, ಸೇಮ್ 6 ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಹಿಂಗೂ 1 2 3 4 5 6 ಹಿಂಗೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೋಡಿ, ಅವ 6 ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಎಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. 1 2 3 4 5 ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮುಗಿಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಿಂಗೂ ಆಗ್ಬಹುದು. ಹಿಂಗೂ ಆಗ್ಬಹುದು. ಇದೊಂದು ಬೇರೆ ಹಿಂಗೂ ಆಗ್ಬಹುದು. ಹಿಂಗೂ ಆಗ್ಬಹುದು. So these are all different arrangement of carbon atoms. So same 6 carbon atoms may be connected in these different fashions. ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಿಂದಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತು ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು? ಹಿಂಗೂ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. So like that, same 6 carbon atoms can form a straight chain, branched chain. ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಹೆಸರು ಹೊಡಬೇಕು. ನೀವು ಗಿಡದಾಗ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು ನೋಡಿ, ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಡೆಗೆ ಮೂರಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ. So these are the different ways of connecting to one another. Same 6 carbon atoms to be connected like that. ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮುಗಿಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಭಾಳ ಒಳಾಗ್ತಾವ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ ನಾನು. So this property is called as catenation. Now I will give you some 4 questions. Please take them. You must answer and send the answer to college mobile. And mobile. You have taken only college mobile, I think. Okay? Send the answer to the college mobile. It's compulsory. You have to send the answers. Question 1. What are hydrocarbons? Second, what is the valency of carbon? 3. How many main branches are in organic chemistry? 4. Give the formula for urea. These are the 4 questions. Please send the answer to the college mobile. College mobile, I think you have taken down. When you are taking the admission, it has been told that you have to save the number. So to that number, you send the answer for these questions. Okay? A problem. 4 questions. Hydrocarbon ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿ ಎಷ್ಟು? ನೀವು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚಸ್ ಯಾವ ಕಲ್ತ್ರಿ? ಯೂರಿಯಾ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಹೇಳಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ? So these are the